Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at NVDA, AMD, Tesla, and MU on the daily, weekly, monthly time frames using technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, sign up, it's free, or click down here in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Traders, if you're looking for a new broker, check out CobraTrading.com/promo/StockBookie. Best in the business, been using these guys for years. If you're a new trader, active trader, or any trader, check these guys out, CobraTrading.com. You won't be disappointed. All right, let's get into NVIDIA daily chart. Almost 6 million on the day. Pretty much a non-event, 0.12% up or 23 cents green on the day. Still in the same pattern, still in the same chop. Inside bar, bearish pattern, coming from a high, consolidating in a bearish manner as well. Bulls, as long as you hold this line and get back above the 50 MA, we can possibly get back into the 210 area, 215, and possibly shoot for the 220 or the 218.67 high. But as long as we're below the 50 MA, we're in a little bit of a weaker stance, still above the 20 and the 200, so it's okay. But we're inside this bar. We got another inside bar, some big red bars with volume. You have to have more volume if you want this thing to go up, so watch for that. If we get a gap up over the 50 MA, we could possibly get a gap and go, and a nice green day on NVIDIA, so watch for that. But right now, until we're above the 210 cent area, we're going to be just chopping around in a micro bull pattern. Macro bear, micro bull. So let's see what this gives us in the next couple days, and the Friday close as well. Look at the weekly real quick here. Weekly, I'm pretty sure we're still above the MAs. Yeah, we're still above the MAs, but remember, down and sideways. As long as we hold the 20 MA on the weekly, but now we're going 4 weeks in the sideways consolidation. We get 3 or 4 more weeks, this thing could possibly fall. So watch the volume on the daily chart. Watch for the gap up over this area of resistance here too. It's got a gap up almost a 201.52. So if they could squeak this thing a little bit closer, maybe the following week we get the gap up and then the go. So watch out for that in NVIDIA. Volume's drying up. We're going into the 3-day holiday or the New Year's Eve, and SPY only had 45 million as well, so watch for that. Tomorrow should be a non-event, but you never know. It is the stock market. All right, let's look at AMD. So AMD, 18 million on the day, 0.19% up or 2 cents on the day. So same thing. We're still trying to recapture this inside bar, just like NVIDIA. They popped it up, chopped it around, brought it back in, but holding the 20. Still in a weak stance, still down sideways, down sideways. We got the pop right here, came in. Got the pop right here, came in. So let's see if we continue sideways, see if the 20 MA or the 50 MA curls into price and possibly sends this down. But again, we get a little bit of news, they'll pop and drop this thing, you know, options X coming up in the next couple of weeks. That can make this thing go up and down. But right now it's looking a little bit weak, and we'll see what this thing brings us on the weekly close as well. Weekly close still below the 20 and the 50, still chopping around inside this bar. Tried to make it up there, but remember, that's the weekly, and then it came right back in and closed right inside this bar again. So until we get above the 1086 $11 area, this thing stays sideways down in here. That's setting up for lower prices. Lower prices meaning looking at 833, 8 or 680, and then 599 if it's all said and done and the markets go down as well. There I'll be a buyer somewhere down in this area, just like Tesla. And we'll show that one next. But daily chart again, a little bit weak. We're still back above the 20 MA. They're holding it. We get back below the 20 MA. We did fill this gap on this red bar here. I think we could definitely retest the 980 area or 988 area, and then possibly lower prices. So if you're long, just be patient and tighten those stops. If you go down, you know, I guess you can add in, but make sure you got room to add in. You know, if you're going to do a $30,000 position, make sure you're only in about 10 right here. 10,000, you get, you know, 10%. You make a quick grand, boom, you're out. That's it. You know, don't load that boat on these guys, these trades. Take a bunch of them, spread them around, and know your size before you get in these things. Because I know there's longs, they're buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip, and it just keeps going lower. Just like when we try to short and it keeps going up, 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 up. Same thing. But this one you're trying to catch the low. But I think we have a little more lower prices to come in the near future for AMD. So be careful with that longs. Let's go to Tesla. So Tesla, we got a little bit of a bounce today. If you look at the Fibonacci level, we had a nice retrace to the 750. We talked about that, and you have a little pivot here. So it came up, stalled out, broke out, came back and retraced that same area where it was stalling out, which becomes support now. So let's see if this can bounce up. Bulls, once again, you got to get above the MAs like we did here, consolidate and start moving up. This one to hit the 750 and just couldn't make it, guys. Started falling apart. I think a little bit of news here brought it down to the 750 going down now. Next area of support will be around 305, 303.75, and this trend line here around the 306 or so, 305.50 or so. So let's see if we consolidate, chop around beneath the moving averages. If we do that and just kind of chop, this one could be possibly setting up for lower prices. And we're still, down, nice retrace, down again, nice retrace, down, nice retrace till we come down again. This thing's making a lower high. Well, this was the high, lower high, lower high. So it's got to break above this now, and then definitely has to get through the 363.31 before it goes higher. But a lot of overhead resistance in this area too as well. So we got the reject. It got rejected here, right back down. Let's keep an eye on these areas of support, and then resistance going up. Of course, the moving averages. You have a gap. You have a gap fill right here too as well. Sorry about that, guys. You have a gap fill is here. Right around the 325 area, and then the 200 MA. So right now, really nothing to do. If you get some volume tomorrow, if you look at the 10-minute chart, if we get a little more volume and we get a nice gap up and we can make it through this 200 MA, we could get another couple bucks out of this and maybe fill this gap up around here. So maybe a $10 move. So let's keep an eye on this one. Let's see what's going on, because it was starting to base down here, starting to get choppy. A little bit of volume kicked up in this one here, so let's watch out for a nice pop and possibly this. If not, then we'll probably look for a non-eventful day and see what happens with Tesla as we close on the weekly chart. Now remember, on the weekly we talked about this big green bar, which the low, this one here, the low was around 314.54. That's what it's got to hold, because that's an inside bar bullish pattern. Just like down here, this is down and up. This is an inside bar bearish pattern. So let's see if this area can hold. If it does hold, that gives us a better opportunity for a possible buy the dip and maybe a couple day pop here with some options. But we'll keep an eye on this one too, just like NVIDIA, just like AMD possibly as well. But actually, this one here is a nice inside bar bearish setup. But let's see if we could get a nice quick pop and then the next drop into the next rollover. I still love this area down here, guys. I hope we get down there. And if it does, it's not 100%. It just depends how it falls into this area. For a nice quick bounce, you could probably get a 3 or 4 day bounce out of this one. But watch for this. Let's see where we close tomorrow on the weekly on Tesla, and then we'll take it from there on the weekly. And the daily's okay, stalled out at the 750 and this little bit of a support here as well. So let's see what tomorrow gives us with Tesla. And then the volume, what was the volume today? 4 million. It was okay. We were 1.19% up, or $3.72 green on the day. So it was a pretty good day overall for Tesla, but still a nice pullback. You'd expect some sort of a relief bounce maybe up into here, and let's see what this gives us tomorrow and going into the short trading week next week with New Year. All right, one more. I've been asked this MU to add this one to this, and let's see what's going on with MU. So daily chart, guys, pretty much the same thing, just like the rest of them. Comes in, retraces, comes in, retraces back up, inside bar here. As long as this thing stays below here, you're a little more bearish. This one we get the pullback, and now we're back below the 50 and the 20 MA, guys. We're holding on to this support because it broke out, came in, consolidated, broke out again, came into this area, filled the gap here. Now we're holding on, but now we're closing below the 20 and the 50 MA, which is in a weak stance. And this coming off the high, down, sideways, this is slightly bearish, guys. And they're just popping it, get people on board, dropping it, and then hopefully we could get down here to the 39.42, and I think we could still get to the 34.19. If you are bullish, you need to get back above these MAs, fill this gap, and make a run for this high here, this pivot high around 46.79, and then the pivot high here at 47.54. If we could fill this gap here right at 47.98, and then another gap right there around 50 or 49.64. Then this thing will most likely start to move up into the higher prices, maybe go to the 55 to 60 area. If this stays down in this lower range and starts to slide and starts to go sideways, the 20 MA will curl this thing down, and then I think this area will break at around the what is it, 39.42. And like I said, we're going to 30, 37, 36, 35, then 34.18, or the 200 MA would be the target price. Actually, right there. Wow, look at that gap fill. Perfect. This thing gets down here, guys, gap fill, 200 MA, that's the place we'll be going long for a couple day pop. So keep an eye on this one, guys. Let me look at I want to look at the monthly. See if this thing, yeah, monthly, yeah, look at that. So we had huge resistance up here around 47 or so, and that's where all this thing's stopping. So we had, everyone was like, oh, here we go, here it goes, and then it started getting stretched from the 20 MA. Guys, this can easily come back down to a $30 stock. Easily around 36, 35. But let's keep an eye on this. A little bit of a topping tail on the monthly. Volume coming in a little bit more, as you can see, it's picking up here, but we'll keep an eye on this. Is 47.54 is your line in the sand. If it can't get above there, then most likely we're just going to tread down and slowly try to come back into the 20 or the 50 MA. When you get extended like this, we've talked about the high flyers. There's your target down in here, but we'll give it around 32, 31. We have the 200 MA around 36, so if it pulls back. So just be careful with this one if you're long, and be careful with all these stocks if you're long, guys, period. Eventually they are going to pull in, and we'll get a buy the dip opportunity down the road. So here's another one too on the weekly MU, down sideways. Look at that weekly inside bar, 39.80. If that cracks, this 39.45 bar, this little pivot low, let's move that down a little bit more, 39.11. So, and then you have the 50 MA and then the 200 MA here. You have gap fill around 27.88. This is the weekly though, a little bit bigger time frame. Could take a couple weeks to get down there. But right now, this inside bar pattern looking pretty sweet. If this thing keeps going sideways in the weekly, this will be setting up for lower prices, in my opinion. So just be careful with MU. Be careful with a lot of these stocks. Monthly charts are purely stretched on a bunch of these, and that's what we play here at StockBookie.com, and we've been playing those for years and years and years. The only thing with those, you go in with shares. Puts are tough because sometimes these plays take a little while to play out. I mean, look at this one. This is weeks. So you made a high at almost $50, but it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks to get back down to 41.82, which is a $10 move. And even on, I mean, this one came in real nice. Look at that, and then bounced up, chopping around. This is setting up for lower prices, guys, in my opinion. So, all right, that's MU. That's the it for today. If you like these videos, please subscribe down here in the right-hand corner. There'll be something coming up at the end of the video, and please like it too as well if you do, and go to my website and sign up. Don't forget to do that as well. But again, thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. God bless. See you on the charts.